I worked quite extensively with a blind coach,
Right.
a guy called Joe Stretchy, who's been legally blind for 20 years.
Ah.
And there were many different facets that I had to kind of deal with, because during the day, Matthew Murdock has to maintain the illusion that he's a regular blind person.
Sure.
So he has to, the cane technique must be appropriate, and you know how he finds things on a table, etc., etc.
Right.
But then the other side of him, when he's alone or when he's with perhaps people who know about his superhero-ness and his heightened senses, then he operates better than a sighted person, but without the use of his eyes. So.
No, exactly, because he's got this sort of sense. I mean,
Yeah.
he knows where things are.
Exactly,
It's very interesting.
Which is very tricky for someone who doesn't have those heightened senses
Indeed.
to do, because
Indeed.
if there's something I need to pick up off the table, I can't look at it. But I need to pick it up and meet, you know. So we had
right,
lots of retakes of things, putting on the wrong glove by accident, and you know, all that.
That's
kind of stuff.
really interesting. It really is. I mean, he is a fascinating character. I know they did a movie about it before, which had Ben Affleck in it, and it wasn't great. It didn't work, but this really does. And I think part of that is the fact that you do have that time to explore the character. It's not just 2 hours or whatever. You know, you've got more time.
Yeah, and also because we're on Netflix as well, we get to be a PG-16, they're calling it, which is, you know, so we get to appeal to a slightly older audience, which is great, because I think with Daredevil it suits the source material. It might not perhaps with Spider-Man or Captain America, but with Daredevil it absolutely does. It's a darker, grittier world.
It is darker. I mean, I don't know if there will be an action figure of you. Do you think that will happen? But it's kind of, you never know.
That's all I really want, you know.
Will there be a dolly of me?
Yeah, that's the only thing. And most of my friends, that's all they want to know. Like, are we going to be able to buy an action figure?
Are we going to be able to buy a dolly? That would be fantastic.
I hope so, yeah.
So when do you think you'll be filming the next one?
I imagine we'll be doing it at the same time as we did last year, so it'll be June to December of this year.
And the way that Netflix works, you stream things, don't you? So I can sit down and watch the whole lot.
Yes.
Which I love doing.
Yeah, and you can binge watch.
I do love that. I think it's the way ahead.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's a proven model now. It's the way people like to watch television, and even on television shows that aren't on Netflix or Amazon or whatever, people tend to save up and then watch 4 or 5 in a row or whatever it is.
It kind of puts you in control in a way, doesn't it? You can either save it as a treat or you can just go for it. But with me, I tend to go, I'll just watch another one. Yeah. Then I'll just watch another one.
And the thing I love about it, in terms of the quality of the show and the writing in particular, is the writers spend less time kind of reminding audiences of what happened the episode before, because a week hasn't passed, you know. So it feels more like a 13-hour movie.
No, it's fantastic. And you have worked with so many amazing people, haven't you? Like Al Pacino, I've heard of him. He's quite good, isn't he?
Yeah, he's not too shabby.
It's fantastic. It's really, really good. It's all worked out so well for you. Is America home now, or is the UK home? How does it work?
I don't know if I'll ever think of America as home. I think of London as home. I have a home in Highbury, up in Islington here, and I rent in New York. So, but I'm increasingly spending much more time over there, and I love it there. I have a great time. But I love it because I know that when all is said and done, I will come back home.
On your holidays.
Family's here, exactly.
No, exactly. And can you toddle around and nobody bothers you?
No one at all. Actually, and I think, you know, I almost think that if I was to put on a mask and walk around, maybe more people would recognise me. But because I wear a mask so much in the show and I've got these glasses, no one bothers me. Not one person. So
that's actually
it's wonderful. Yeah,
it's really good.
Yeah, it's great.